Hi, boys and girls. This week, our story is called Simple Machines by Alan Fowler, and it is one of my favorite stories in our reading series. I always have so much fun doing this story, so I really wish we could be together when we do it, but I know that you guys will have fun with it as well, because there's lots of fun things that you can do to experiment and play around with some simple machines. So Simple Machines, our story this week is the genre is expository text, which is a story that explains about real people, animals, places, or things. So this is nonfiction. It's a type of nonfiction. It's going to explain to us about simple machines. Maybe we know what that means. Maybe you don't. But either way, this story, this expository text is going to explain about it. And it's going to be real. It's not made up. It's a real story. So grab your reading books, and the story starts on page 138, and 139 is our title page. And you can see the title, Simple Machines. And look, they even wrote the title kind of cool, right? They use like this little rope. Looks like a friendship bracelet. I see some screwdrivers, some rulers, a slinky, some nuts and bolts and screws. So they did that on purpose, and we'll find out when we read, right? Because that tells us a little sneak preview of what we're going to be reading about in the story Simple Machines. So our question of the week is, how can a great idea make our lives easier? How can a great idea make our lives easier? So we're going to be thinking about that as we read and learn about Simple Machines. We use machines every day. Machines help make our lives easier. Some machines, such as lawnmowers and vacuum cleaners, have many parts. So there's a lawnmower and a vacuum cleaner, and you notice because it's a nonfiction text, we have real pictures. And we have certain things too. These are called captions that are by the pictures that tell us and give us more information about what is in the picture. So these are types of machines. They have lots of different parts. Other machines have few parts. They are called simple machines. Levers, inclined planes, wheel and axles, and pulleys are 4 kinds of simple machines. And then there's a picture of what they just mentioned, and there's a caption too in our nonfiction story. These everyday things are simple machines. So they show us a picture that's like a can opener, some screws that looks like a pulley. Let's find out some more. This bottle opener is a kind of lever. It helps you remove the cap from a bottle. So you see he's holding it, and he's pushing down on one side, which is lifting the cap up, right? Some levers can help you move a heavy object, such as a rock. So here is a picture, and the caption tells us that this boy is using a lever called a crowbar. So he's using this big metal bar, and he's pushing it underneath that rock because he's trying to move it, help lift it. So when he pushes down on this end, that rock should lift up a little bit, right? So push down on one end of a lever. The other end moves up and pushes against whatever you're trying to move. What does that sound like to you? Something that if you push down on one end, the other one goes up. Can you think of it? We're about to find out. Have you ever ridden a seesaw? I know you have. I have pictures of you guys enjoying the seesaws. A seesaw is a kind of lever. One side goes up while the other side goes down. So there's a lever, right? This kid can't really lift him that high. And same thing. He can't lift him that high. But when they're on this lever, you push down on one and it helps lift the other, no matter how heavy it is. So that's our first simple machine, is that lever. Next, we have our inclined plane. Inclined planes are all around you. You have some pictures. Look at the boy going down a slide. He's skateboarding on a ramp. This woman in a wheelchair is coming out of the bus on a ramp. And here's a picture, and it's pointed to the inclined plane, and then just a regular plane. So it says a plane is just a flat surface, like a wooden board. Plane, right? An inclined plane is a flat surface that's slanted. So think of it like a ramp, right? So that's our inclined plane. Ramps are inclined planes. It is easier to push a big load up a ramp than it is to lift it. So they're showing this worker, he's got his wheelbarrow and he's pushing it up the ramp, which is a whole lot easier than trying to lift that thing up. Same thing with these movers. They're moving something really big and heavy, and they're going to push it up the ramp. So that inclined plane helps them, makes it a lot easier for them. A wedge is another kind of inclined plane. So here's a picture of a wedge. So a wedge can help you cut wood. When a wedge is hit with a big hammer, its thin part splits the wood. So a wedge is kind of like triangle shaped. It has a pointed edge and it splits things. So here, it's splitting the wood. Wheels help things go. An axle or rod connects a pair of wheels. The axle helps the wheels turn. So here they show a picture and the arrow is pointing to the axle. You can't just take a board and glue two wheels on it. You have to have that bar that goes across, right? And that's our wheels and an axle, wheel and axle. Wheels are on bicycles and cars. It could be very hard to move a bike or a car without wheels. So yeah, I don't think you can ride that. I don't think you're going to make it very far in that. A pulley helps you lift heavy objects. There's a picture of a pulley right here. A pulley's rope passes over a small wheel, so we see the wheel up here. You pull down on one end of the rope, and you can lift a very heavy load that's tied to the other end. Right? A pulley can help you raise and lower the flag on a flagpole, so flagpoles have pulleys. You can even lift the sail on a boat using a pulley. So that's what they're using, right? When they're pulling on the rope, that's making the other side move. These children are using two kinds of simple machines. A wheelbarrow is a kind of lever, right? Because you push one end up and the other, push one end down, the other goes up. And it has wheels. So wheel and axle and a lever on that wheelbarrow. Have you used any simple machines today? So they show the girl going down the slide, which is our inclined plane. Well, in the rollerblades, they have wheel and axles, right? Same thing with that bike. And here it looks like they're using their pulley system. So simple machines are all around us. Just quick review, we have our wheel and axle, which you guys know what that one is. Our pulley system, right? The rope goes up and over that wheel, so if you pull one end, it's lifting up what's on the other end. It's used to lift heavy things. Our lever, and there's our seesaw picture. When you push down, you stick something under and then flip it up by hitting the other side. Our inclined plane is our ramp. Let me raise that just a little. And then we had our wedge, which is our little triangle shape. And then we had one that they didn't mention in the story, but it's very important and very popular. It's a screw. It's a screw. And you see that it's different than a nail. It has those edges on it, and it has to be screwed in with a screwdriver. But we see screws everywhere. If you go look in your fridge, let me see. And you look at the cap of any of the drinks, and you have to screw it off, right? And here you see those ridges, and the ridges are there. So you line them up. That's an example of a screw. Right there. It's not just the screw, the tool that you use. So those are our simple machines. They're amazing. And this week we're going to be finding simple machines around our house. And hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe try to create and build our own simple machines, right? Because simple machines, or any kind of machine, helps make work easier, right? So we like simple machines. That is for sure. So here they are. I hope you enjoyed the story.